one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop a million songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Yo, how is everybody doing today, man? Yo, no way we having a better day than Phoenix Suns fans, son. Yo, I was getting on here to do a video for Mike Malone and all the trash talking he done to the Lakers, how hilarious it is to me, and how soft Laker fans been acting. Not Laker fans, because I'm a Laker fan. LeBron fans. The LeBron stands who continue to call themselves Laker fans because they go wherever LeBron go. But how dope was the day? What we get into today? One of my homies watched that movie Extraction on Netflix. He was like, yo, Jay, you done check? He was like, hey, yo, Saint, you done checked out Extraction? I was like, what the fuck is Extraction? He was like, that shit on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth, Thor. I was like, oh, nah, I don't watch Netflix. I'm never on Netflix. The only time I get on Netflix, I can literally tell you every time I done got on it. I watch Stranger Things in one go. Like when they dropped a new season of Stranger Things, I watch that bit in one go. It don't take me multiple nights. I go as soon as I get off work that night, or if I'm free, I get me my blunts, I get me something to eat, and I watch it all the way through. I might take a break to go get something else to eat, Cause it's like a 6-hour sit down, possibly, depending on how long every episode is and how many episodes. And then I got on it to see Glass Onion Knives Out, which was not even intentional. Somebody had told me like, yo, you like murder mystery? This is a comedy murder mystery. It's got good actors in it. Bro, go look at Knives Out. It's on Netflix. And I went and checked it out, and it was a great movie. I'm going to go check out Extraction because it's got Idris Elba on it. And one of the other reasons I used to be on that, I used to be on Netflix way back in the day when they had, what was that show Idris was on? Luther. Yo, that show Luther is some heat, my guy. I'm trying to tell y'all gotta go check that out. Luther is some straight heat. I guess that shit was on the BBC network, but I watched it back when I was in college in 2013. I watched it while I was at Campbell University. But y'all gotta check that out. I'm gonna check out Extraction, even though it don't really seem like a movie I would want to watch. Now, I know some people might hear this and be like, yo, I thought Transformers was your favorite series, and that's action. Yeah, I grew up watching Transformers. I didn't grow up watching no Extraction. Plus, I done said this before. I'm not really into action movies because they really have god-awful storylines. I'm going to have to really be a fan of what I'm seeing or a character or something like that to be invested in it. You know what I'm saying? Other than, if not really going to watch it. Chris Hemsworth, cool dude. I can't say I'm a mega fan of all his work. I mean, his best work is what, Thor? He was actually in a movie one time. He was playing a funny character on a farm in a movie that I saw, and that shit was hilarious. I think it was called Road Trip. I think it's that movie with Jennifer Aniston and the dude who played on The Office, Steve Carell. And they had like a family, like the son in the family. I think he played Adam Warlock. And it's crazy that I'm spitting out all this information, son, because I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy. Not one of those movies have I watched. But I keep up with things, bro. I keep up with things. When I say I keep up with things, I just watch a whole lot of the breakdowns on these different channels like Heavy Spoilers, New Rock Stars, and things like that, bro. Screen Crush. I have no time to sit down and watch these Marvel movies. And I actually do have the time to sit down and watch them, but I don't enjoy Marvel movies. The same type of thing. Marvel movies, for me, and it's no offense, I truly believe Marvel movies were created for children. And I'm not telling you that an adult cannot enjoy them, but you got to be a fan of that to enjoy it. I didn't grow up with Marvel superheroes aside from Spider-Man. And then I phased out of Spider-Man once I started watching Transformers and the Justice League and shit like that. So I'm not like the way people hate the Batman v Superman movie. I love that movie. I watched that shit like 1,000,000 times. The extended version, all that. Now, I didn't like that Josh Whedon Justice League, but I don't acknowledge that as the movie. I acknowledge the Snyder cut as the real one. I'm interested to see what they do with this new DC universe. Listen, everybody loved James Gunn, but if you love James Gunn, I feel like that's because you love Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, not a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Also not really a Suicide Squad fan. So, of the movies, let me put it like that, when it comes to the Suicide Squad. So, listen, I'm not really big on James Gunn. So, you know, and he already done recast 2 characters who I thought were perfect in their roles. I thought Ben Affleck was the perfect Batman, and I will never not think Henry Cavill is the perfect Superman. I will never not think that. That motherfucker was born to be Clark Kent, bro. And I love how Ben Affleck played Batman. Plus, I just feel like Ben Affleck's such a great actor. But him playing Batman, easily fell in love with that version of Batman. And I grew up with the Dark Knight Batman. But Ben Affleck Batman to me was a phenomenal live action Batman. So, you know, interested to see what James Gunn go with that, but you know, I seen that Flash movie. The new Flash movie that came out, I done seen that. It was straight. I mean, but like I said, bro, they replaced my Batman, so it's whatever. But let's talk about the Phoenix Suns, man. The Phoenix Suns have made it, have traded Chris Paul and some picks, no first round picks, in order to acquire Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. Now I know a lot of people gonna get mad. I know a lot of people got irritated when that dropped. I know a lot of people was like, oh, here we go again, a super team, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I like super teams. I done said that a million times. I'm never gonna bitch about a super team. I will say this. While I am a fan of super teams, because I feel like it give everybody something to shoot for, I actually don't think this is the same level of super team some people might think. When it comes, see, I think in the NBA now, when you put 3 great scorers together, people say that's a super team. Because ain't a lot of defense getting played in the NBA. However, I don't know what Bradley Beal gonna look like when he get into a winning situation. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker used to winning. One done won a championship, one done been to a championship. Bradley Beal at no point in time in his career had never been close to getting to the things and doing some of the things that D-Book and Kevin Durant has done. None of these 3 dudes would I consider to be leaders, other than leaders by the fact that they can score a lot of fucking points. But it's going to be interesting when you put all 3 of them together, because while you look at it and you think just, oh, a lot of points going to be scored. We thought the same thing with KD, Kyrie, James Harden. Now, what I will say is this. I do believe this team could have a chance at being a championship contending team. The caveat is they have to figure out how to play some fucking defense. I do not think you can rely on outscoring everybody else, because there's so many people in the league, so many teams that's got a lot of offensive firepower. I still think Denver could compete with this team. And they kept DeAndre Ayton. So to the fans out there who constantly give their teams leeway when they don't go out and make splashes and things like that, I just want you to look at what Phoenix is doing. I want you to look at teams that actually try to win championships and the shit that they do. Phoenix kept DeAndre Ayton. They will not let this dude go, and still went out and replaced Chris Paul with Bradley Beal. Now, I know Bradley Beal all time is not better than Chris Paul, but right now, as it stands, Bradley Beal is a better player. Now, is he better for winning? Will he contribute to winning? Because Bradley Beal, not a defensive guy. I don't expect him to become a defensive guy now. Devin Booker, not a defensive guy. I don't expect him to become a defensive guy now. But you can make key defensive stands in certain situations when you know you plan for something more. So I'm interested to see how will this, because naturally, the dude who's going to have to take a step back is Bradley Beal. Now, it's weird because you would think KD is the dude who take a step back because he the older one, but he don't look like he out of his prime. I saw somebody on Twitter say Kevin Durant is washed. So, you know, just, I don't know how some people on Twitter watch basketball, or sports for that matter. However, if all 3, because obviously health is going to be a thing. Bradley Beal done been injured the last couple years. I think they said Bradley Beal only done played like 80 games the last 2 years. Kevin Durant done been hurt a lot over the last 2, really since the last year in Golden State. So obviously that's always going to be a caveat, but I have to go with the fact that they were healthy when they played in the postseason this year. So I'm going to just imagine that I'm going off of the fact that I think they'll be healthy. And if they get healthy, obviously every team, it's hard to give you a true breakdown on what I expect from this team right now, because I don't know how every other team in the NBA going to look. Once you know, so I'll do a rollback to this video, a part 2 to this video, once the NBA offseason is, you know, free agents and trades and all that shit done happen. But as it stands right now, yeah, this should be a top team in the NBA, but we thought it would be a top team when they got Kevin Durant with Book and CP3. So I am interested to see but see, the thing that worried me about this Suns team is the same thing that worried me about the Kyrie Luka thing. And I said it when that trade came out. I said the only thing that I'm concerned about, because they gonna score a lot of points, but man, they can't play no fucking defense. And that's a problem, because I'll say it again. It's a lot of teams in the NBA that can score a lot of fucking points. So while having D Book, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal will be great when you get to the postseason, because now teams have to figure out how to stop those three dudes. During the regular season, when you got back-to-backs, 5 games and 6 nights, that's, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. And there's a lot of teams that can put up a lot of points. So I don't want to, as it stands here right now, on whatever the fuck date it is, I do believe this is a serious contending team. However, how do you fill out the rest of the roster? That's big. You have to figure out how to fill out the rest of this roster. Not only that, while defense is something that I'm concerned about, as I was with the Dallas when they made that trade, defense is not my actual number one concern when it comes to this Phoenix Suns team now. It's how do you run an offense with these three dudes? Because the reason the Warriors work is because neither Steph nor Klay are ball dominant players. Steph can be one if he wanted to, but he didn't have to be. Kevin Durant could still ISO as much as he wanted to, but Draymond and plus Steph Curry was willing to take multiple steps back so that everybody else could shine, specifically Kevin Durant. Well, Bradley Beal don't really play the game like a Klay Thompson or Steph Curry for that matter. He a pull-up shooter. He liked to get his shots off the dribble. He liked to be a ball-dominant guard. That's tough to do when you play with another ball-dominant player in Kevin Durant and another ball-dominant player in Devin Booker. That's what I want to see, because I know this team can put up points, but I know this team can stop itself if they don't get the right head coach at the helm. You need a great, see, this is why I'm baffled when I hear people talk crazy about certain coaches. You need a Steve Kerr right now to know how to put a system in place to get the most out of all three of these dudes, to make sure nobody really got to take a true sacrifice in certain areas and that they can get the most out of all three. You need what my man's name is San Antonio, a Greg Popovich, a Phil Jackson, head coaches that know how to put this type of talent in place to succeed and not have to take too much of a subtraction, if you will, as far as their offensive numbers might go. Because nobody give a fuck when they have to sacrifice defensive numbers. That's just how that thing go. But the biggest concern, if any, I know a lot of people look at the defense. I'm not really too concerned about that, because in my opinion, a great offense will always overcome a great defense. So, and if you play great enough offense, like, bro, everybody, it's going to be rare that you see another team that did what the Golden State Warriors did, where they was top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense every year. That's tough to do, because the fact of the matter is egos, guys not wanting to sacrifice on that end, not wanting to do that type of dirty work. But when you have the type of team that's top heavy like Phoenix, and you probably won't have the money to go out and sign all these other top tier type, like you probably finna sign a lot of mid set level exception type of players, a lot of dudes who probably don't specialize in really nothing but one thing. Like, you're not getting high end role players on a team that's top heavy like this. So health and a offensive game plan is major for a team like this. This can't be, your turn, my turn. Like, it cannot be that. And Kevin Durant has played like that his entire career, aside from when he was in Golden State. Devin Booker, while he was in a good system in Phoenix, he started to play like that when he got Kevin Durant. Your turn, my turn. John Wall haven't been in Washington in God knows how long. So Bradley Beal been basically the main ball handler forever. So I am very interested to see how this thing work out in Phoenix. Now, with that being said, I couldn't tell you where they rank at, completely right now, because every other team not figured out. What I will say is this. A lot of different teams can make moves that I would think would put them over Phoenix. You see, the thing with Phoenix, like I said, is the bench to me the others will not be that great. You have to rely on these dudes staying healthy. Big one to Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And you have to get a good head coach who can come in and put these dudes in place to be successful. Not only that, I've never seen Bradley Beal win on the highest level. LeBron James, Steph Curry can still add pieces to their teams. Jokic, where I would take those 3 teams over Phoenix right now. The Golden State Warriors could make trades to go out and bring in another star level player to play alongside Steph Curry. You can't tell me they can't, because I just watched Phoenix go make a big move. They could bring in Kristaps Porzingis. They could try to bring in Kyle Kuzma. The Lakers could go out and make big moves, as could those other teams. And because those teams have 3 dudes who've led their team to championships, I trust them more than I trust Phoenix. And so, as good as Phoenix look right now, because the addition of Bradley Beal, and it is a hell of an addition, I think people got to slow their roll a little bit. I think people, you know, and I do know some people out there who are like, oh, this move ain't going to make a difference. Bradley Beal is trash. He a loser. Listen, I don't agree with that first part. And I'm going to have to stop agreeing with the second one if he start winning. And he did make a big time winning decision. And listen, he had a no trade clause in his contract. I don't know how the fuck he ended up, you know, negotiating that into his contract. Washington Wizards have a terrible organization over there is all I can see, because there's no way I'm guaranteeing somebody a no trade clause on a team that's trash at the moment he signed that contract, and multiple years before that. It's just never going to happen. However, what I think this do for Phoenix is, let's say this don't work out, the big 3. Well, the easiest person to end up getting rid of is Kevin Durant. And then you build around Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. So you give yourself multiple avenues to still ultimately be successful. Weirdly, the success might actually come when one of these 3 leave, because all 3 of these dudes' game is offense centric. None of these 3, Kevin Durant played defense in Golden State. None of these 3 dudes give a fuck about defense. None of these 3 dudes is dudes who get everybody else involved. None of these 3 dudes is dudes who get, who are playmakers. These are offensive mercenaries who need the ball. Somebody gonna only average 20 points this year out of this 3. I'm just telling you. And they're gonna have to be okay with it. So, I'm interested to see how it go, but I would advise fans to slow down. If you're a Phoenix fan, you can be happy. I'm not talking to you. But I'm talking about the fans like, oh my God, Kevin Durant, another super team. Oh my God, the NBA not fun, another super. Calm down. Y'all got to start looking at the game. Start analyzing it a little bit more. That critical thinking is a motherfucker. Listen, Golden State got a great team. They make a couple moves here and there. They can compete. So, as is Denver. As can Denver, as can the Lakers, and it's a couple teams. Now I feel bad for Miami. They ended up missing out on getting them. I heard Miami was in the mix to try. Now this is interesting because Bradley Beal chose not to go play in Miami with Jimmy. I think that got more to do with the Heat culture. That's a Heat culture. He said to himself, I don't know if I really want to deal with that shit. Where I can just go to Phoenix and be, you know, laid back, chill with D-Book, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe that say more about, you know, Bradley Beal. But, hey, a loser gonna do what a loser do. I'm just playing. Chill out. Chill out, bro. Pro player show. I just don't think this is one of those things that y'all should be jumping off the wall about. But it's also not one of them things where you should be like, oh, Bradley Beal garbage. This not gonna make a difference. Because that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But, you know, I am intrigued. I honestly think they could end up trading DeAndre Ayton by the time the offseason hit. I mean, by the time the next season hit, because that's a lot of money they're going to be end up paying to 4 dudes, bro. Like, that's the biggest reason you're not going to be able to fill out this roster with other, like, top tier role players, because my goodness, man, you paying D-Book a max, KD a max, Bradley Beal a max. And it's not a max for DeAndre Ayton, I don't believe, but it's still a lot of fucking money. So, my goodness, what a payroll. All I keep hearing is, you know, the NBA made these rules to fix teams like Golden State from spending. I'm going to tell you what's so irritating about hearing that. Golden State signed Kevin Durant when he became a free agent, like any other team tried to do. They drafted Clay, they drafted Steph, they drafted Draymond. They did great when it came to trading for role players nobody else wanted. They got more out of these dudes. But somehow, they are the problem when it comes to spending. And not a team like Phoenix, who bought CP3, who bought Kevin Durant, who bought, and cause they didn't sign none of these motherfuckers through, signing them in the offseason. They traded for these motherfuckers. All high-end talent. That's who this rule was made for. The Clippers going out and getting, signing, Kawhi, trading for Paul George. Maybe that's who it's for. But then again, I can't get mad at a team who can't get homegrown talent because they terrible at drafting. You know what I'm saying? Because when you draft good, you still gonna be hitting that, paying out big money. Look at the Warriors. And then it's silly to me when people try to say Andrew Wiggins. Bro, the world collectively was saying he shouldn't have won All-Star last year. I see people every day say he the most overrated All-Star all time. Before that, before he got to Golden State, people was calling him one of the a first round busts. Like, stop it. I just mad Curry be beating y'all favorite player. But with that being said, I gotta sneeze. Bless me. Thank you. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It With Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in this world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.